Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Speak Smart podcast.
Happy to be here.
Today, we're diving deep into a topic you all specifically requested. That's the dynamics of love and narcissism.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is. And what's really interesting is our main source material is a transcript of a motivational speech that's been attributed to Denzel Washington.
You know, before we get started and everyone starts picturing Denzel Washington on like a therapist's couch, this isn't about like clinical diagnoses or anything.
Right.
This speech, it uses really powerful imagery and metaphors and stuff to kind of explore how love and narcissism can get all mixed up, you know, in our personal relationships.
Okay, so I think that's a really important distinction to make right off the bat. So one of the first things that jumped out at me when I was reading through this speech was how it frames encountering a narcissist as like a test.
Interesting.
What kind of test are we talking about here?
Well, it frames it as a test of self-worth.
Okay.
You know, recognizing your own value and being able to see the difference between genuine love and when someone's trying to manipulate you. Yeah.
And it suggests that dealing with someone who has narcissistic traits can be so challenging, but it can also be like a huge opportunity for you to grow.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like labeling someone a narcissist and being done with it.
Right.
It's about understanding like the dynamics in the relationship and using that to learn more about yourself.
Exactly. It's like asking yourself, what is this whole situation teaching me about my own boundaries? What about my own needs? What about like how much I can love?
That's so interesting. And the speech also highlights this pattern of like idealization and devaluation that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
It suggests that narcissists often admire the very qualities that they later try to diminish in their partners.
You know, that's a classic narcissist tactic.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. They might shower you with all this praise and attention.
Oh, wow.
They might mirror all your strengths and make you feel like you finally found your soulmate, you know? But then as the relationship goes on, that adoration can turn into criticism and they try to control you. It's that push and pull dynamic.
Exactly.
Right? Where they build you up and then they tear you down.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Have you ever noticed this in your own relationships?
For sure.
It might not be with like a full-blown narcissist or anything, but even like subtle forms of that dynamic can be really confusing and hurtful.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important for people to be aware of that pattern because it can really start to like eat away at your self-esteem and make you question your worth. You know, when you're constantly being praised and then put down, it just makes you feel unstable and you're always chasing that validation that you got at the beginning.
It's like an emotional roller coaster.
Totally. You're always like chasing that high, but then the lows get worse and worse.
And that's where the speech brings in this like really surprising element, the power of empathy. It suggests that empathy is not a weakness.
Which is what we're always told, right?
Yeah, which is what we're always told.
That it's weak to be empathetic.
Yeah. But it's actually a really profound strength.
Especially when you're dealing with someone who has narcissistic tendencies.
So I'm curious about that. How does empathy become a strength in a situation that often feels manipulative and emotionally draining?
Well, the speech suggests that like narcissists, they don't really understand empathy.
Oh, why?
They might even try to convince you that it's a bad thing to be empathetic, like you're weak or something.
Oh, that's kind of mind-boggling.
It is.
Because empathy is how we connect with people.
Exactly. It's the foundation for real connection. So that's why empathy can be so disarming to a narcissist.
I see.
Because it's like a language they just don't get, you know? And when you respond with empathy instead of getting defensive or angry, it really challenges how they see the world and it disrupts how they usually control people.
So it's not about you trying to like fix them or change them.
No.
It's about holding on to your empathy as a way to stay grounded.
And maintain your boundaries, yeah.
Yeah.
You're basically recognizing that it's their problem, not yours.
Right.
It's not an attack on you. It's just them and their own struggles.
Right.
And by being empathetic, you're staying true to yourself and you're not playing their games.
That's such a good point. The speech also emphasizes how important it is to recognize and reclaim your power in these types of relationships.
Definitely.
And it uses this really powerful metaphor of the mirror to illustrate how being your authentic self can actually threaten a narcissist.
Oh yeah, think of it this way. Your authenticity, you know, like refusing to be controlled by them.
Yeah.
That becomes like a mirror and it shows them all their own insecurities.
Oh.
That's why they try to like dim your shine so they don't have to see those parts of themselves.
So the more authentic you are,
the more threatened they feel.
Yeah, the more their defenses come up.
Yeah.
It's like you're holding up this mirror and they just want to like shatter it.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to understand that a narcissist needs to control everything.
Right.
They need to control other people so that they can feel powerful and so they don't have to face their own issues.
This makes me think about the advice people always give to go no contact with someone who is a narcissist.
Yeah.
Is that always the best thing to do?
It can be a great way to protect yourself and get your space back.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not possible, like if you have kids together or something,
Right.
or you work together or whatever.
So what's the alternative then? How do you deal with someone who's always trying to control you?
You have to set really clear boundaries
Okay.
and stand up for what you need.
Okay.
But that can be really hard, especially if you're used to putting their needs before your own.
Right, because there's that fear of making them mad.
Yeah, exactly. But the speech says that sometimes walking away is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's not a failure. It's actually a victory.
I love that.
It shows that you know what you deserve
Yeah.
and you're choosing to take care of yourself.
I love how that reframes it as a victory and not a defeat.
Yeah.
It shows how strong you are.
Yeah. And how much you love yourself.
This is already giving me a lot to think about, and it feels like we've just scratched the surface.
We have.
But before we dive even deeper, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to continue our deep dive into love, narcissism, and you. You know, as we're like going through this Denzel Washington speech,
Yeah.
what really strikes me is how it captures that feeling of being on an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, totally.
When you're in a relationship with someone who has narcissistic tendencies,
It's really insightful.
it is.
It doesn't sugarcoat how painful it is,
Right.
but it also gives you a way to like take back your power and heal.
I'm really interested in this idea of becoming unstoppable
Yeah.
that the speech keeps talking about.
Yeah.
It says that surviving a relationship with a narcissist can help you grow so much as a person.
For sure.
But what does that actually mean? Like, what does it look like to become unstoppable?
Well, it doesn't mean you're suddenly like invincible, that you can't get hurt anymore.
Okay.
It means you build up this inner strength and wisdom that lets you handle tough stuff with grace,
Okay.
and it helps you make choices that are true to yourself.
I guess it's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
But it's more than that.
It is.
It's not just surviving.
No.
You actually use those hard times to grow.
Exactly. The speech says that you should try to see those tough relationships as chances to learn about yourself.
I see.
You have to ask yourself, what did I learn about myself? How did I become stronger? And how can I use what I learned to make my life better and more real?
It's like you're taking all the broken pieces and making something beautiful and strong.
I love that. And remember, this whole journey isn't about getting revenge or changing the other person.
No.
It's about you healing and growing.
So you're not waiting for them to apologize or trying to prove yourself to them.
Nope.
You're realizing that your worth comes from inside you.
Exactly. And once you really believe that, nothing can shake it.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what anyone else says or thinks.
That's a whole new way of thinking about it.
It is. And I think that's what makes this journey so powerful. You come out of it feeling stronger and better than before.
And that strength can spread to other people too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It can inspire them to make changes.
It's a ripple effect of being yourself and loving yourself.
Exactly.
When you put yourself first and set boundaries and don't settle for less, it shows other people they can do it too.
And that's where the real power is.
Yeah.
It's not just about you getting better. It's about changing the whole culture.
So that being real and respectful is normal.
Can you imagine what the world would be like if everyone was unstoppable?
It would be amazing.
It's something worth fighting for.
For sure.
And it all starts with each of us
Choosing ourselves
knowing our worth.
and making a life that's true to who we are.
That's really the main message of this whole speech, right?
It is.
It's like a call to action.
Yeah.
It's telling us to step up and be the heroes of our own stories.
No more settling.
No more hiding who we are
It's time to shine.
and show everyone else how it's done.
That's a beautiful message.
It is. And I think it's the perfect place to stop for a minute.
Okay.
We'll be back soon to finish up our deep dive into love, narcissism, and the amazing power we all have inside us. All right, so we're back. And as we're wrapping up this deep dive into Denzel Washington's speech, I keep coming back to this idea of becoming unstoppable.
It's powerful, isn't it?
We've talked about resilience and self-worth and discernment.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's still more to it.
Oh, there's definitely more. And I think one of the best things about the speech is that it says becoming unstoppable doesn't mean you're invincible or you don't feel things anymore.
Okay.
It's about finding that strength and wisdom inside you so you can handle challenges with grace and make choices that feel right for you.
It's like that whole saying, you know what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly.
But I think it goes deeper than
Wow, for sure.
It's not just about survival.
Yeah.
It's about using those experiences to learn and grow.
The speech talks about how important it is to look at those tough times, those relationships with narcissists, as chances to learn about yourself. I was like asking, what did I learn from this? How did I get stronger? And how can I use this to make my life better, more authentic?
Like taking those broken pieces and making something beautiful and unbreakable.
I love that. And something the speech really emphasizes is that this isn't about getting back at the other person or trying to change them.
Gotcha.
It's about you focusing on healing and becoming a better you.
So you're not sitting around waiting for an apology or trying to prove your worth to someone who never really cared.
Nope.
You realize that your worth comes from inside.
Exactly. And once you get that, no one can take it away from you.
That's a huge shift in how you see yourself.
It is. It's really transformative.
You come out of it stronger.
More powerful.
Yeah, and that feeling can spread to other people.
Oh, absolutely.
It can inspire them to change too.
It's like this ripple effect of being true to yourself and loving yourself.
I love that.
You put yourself first, you set boundaries, you don't settle, and that shows other people they can do it too.
And that's where the real power comes in. It's not just about you healing.
It's about changing the whole world.
So that being genuine and respecting each other is just normal.
Imagine how different things would be if everyone had that unstoppable mindset.
Wow. Yeah, just something worth working towards.
Absolutely.
And it all starts with us
Choosing ourselves,
knowing what we're worth.
creating a life that feels right.
And that's what this whole speech is
It's
about.
just a call to action.
Yeah, it's telling us to step up and be the heroes of our own lives.
No more settling.
No more hiding who we are
Time to shine.
and be an example for everyone else.
What a beautiful message.
It really is. And I think it's the perfect note to end on.
I agree.
So to everyone listening, if you're feeling inspired, take that feeling and do something with it. What's one small step you can take today to become that unstoppable version of yourself?
Maybe it's setting a boundary in a relationship, or going after a dream you've always had, or even just saying no to something that drains your energy.
Every step, even the little ones, get you closer to who you want to be.
And remember, you're not alone in this.
Yeah. There are so many people who have been through this and come out stronger, wiser, happier.
Reach out, connect with each other, support each other.
Together, we can create a world where everyone feels empowered to shine as bright as they can.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into love, narcissism, and how to become unstoppable.
And thank you for listening to the Speak Smart podcast. And subscribe to my channel, like the hit button.